Hey everybody, it's Mike Peasall, pastor at Gateway Christian Center here in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Today is August 30th, and this is Mike's Midweek Message. I'm glad you're going to join me today. So today's title simply is Happy or Healthy. And I know that we don't always have to make that choice, but sometimes we actually have to make a choice between being happy and being healthy. I know that none of us really wants to be around unhappy people or angry people or, whatever. But when we think about like dealing with children, we have multiple grandchildren. I could make them so happy if I just said, "Hey kids, whatever you want to eat, that's what we'll do. We'll eat candy all day. We'll eat ice cream all day. We'll eat cake all day." That would make them happy, but it wouldn't make them healthy. As a matter of fact, it would probably do the opposite. It would make them very unhealthy. So sometimes you have to say no to the thing that might make them temporarily happy to say yes to that thing that would make them more permanently healthy. And of course, it's not just about our kids, it's about ourselves. I mean, each of us, there are things that we do that when we're doing them, man, we're happy. We're enjoying it, whatever. But then after the fact, all the stuff starts setting in, the guilt, the shame, the regret. So the happiness isn't always very long lasting. So I just was thinking about this as I was preparing for today. And I just want to encourage all of you who are maybe like me, maybe sometimes you put happy a little farther ahead of healthy. And I'm not just talking about physical health. There's things you can choose to eat, and there's things that you can choose not to eat. And it might even cause you a little unhappiness in the process of saying no to those things that you like to eat, but yes to those things you need to eat. But it's also those activities. There are certain activities that we might like to do that, when we're doing them, we're kind of happy. It's kind of things we zone out on, and there is time for zoning out. I know that, but there are also times when doing the thing that we need to do, reading the thing that we need to read, developing a skill in an area that we don't necessarily want to develop, that may cause a little bit of unhappiness, but long term, it makes us more mentally healthy, so physically and mentally healthy. But then obviously, I talk about it all the time, about how we invest our time in the things of the Spirit. And so there are times that, it might make you much happier to scroll Facebook. It might make you much happier to binge watch 4 seasons of some show you heard about. But the reality of it is that sometimes it's not just easy to pick up the Word of God. It's not easy to find a good message online that you want to listen to from somebody who you could learn from. It's not necessarily a happy thing, but it is a healthy thing. So I just want to encourage you as you make decisions between a balance between happy and healthy, that you don't forget that ultimately healthy people are happy people. Healthy people will be happier much longer than happy people who are unhealthy. And so our health, our physical health, our mental health, and our spiritual health actually lead to happiness. The Bible talks about how the Lord will prune us so that we will be more fruitful, because He knows as we are more fruitful, we will have more joy. A lot of people don't think about the fact that God does what He does to prune us and to discipline us so that we will have more joy. Not so that we'll be, joyless robots, but that as we become more like He wants us to be, we're becoming spiritually healthy, which means we're going to have more joy. Joshua talked about it in Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. And he was talking to a lot of people who had just kind of done away with following the God of Israel. And he says this: "Choose this day whom you will serve, whether it's the God of your ancestors who served beyond the region of the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." The ultimate health is having the right relationship with the Lord. And again, that doesn't mean that it's unhappy and it's unjoyful. It is what's long term the most joyful thing we could do is to be in a growing, living relationship with the Lord. I figured out at one point that there are people in your life who you can make them temporarily happy by doing something that they really, really want you to do, or you can look downrange and go, yeah, but if I don't do that thing, but I do something else, I'm actually setting that person up for a lifetime of happiness. We make sacrifices sometimes for the short-term happiness, for the long-term health, which brings long-term happiness. So as you go, school has started. I know that supposedly it's going to be fall eventually. I'm not in a hurry for that, but this is a time of year when a lot of things are starting new, new classes, new schools. Maybe you're starting a new job. I just want to really, really encourage you that that you always have to balance out happy with healthy, and especially in our spiritual lives, those things that will make us spiritually healthy are the things ultimately that will bring us the most joy. I hope you'll have an incredible week, and I will see you next Wednesday.